From the Sixers' devastating loss against the Celtics to his potential regret of leaving Philly, here's why Ben Simmons trolled the 76ers. In a jaw-dropping Game 7 showdown, the Sixers completely fumbled their chances of winning the playoffs. The Celtics came out swinging like never before. Jason Tatum had a performance for the ages. He dropped a mind-boggling 51 points, setting a new record for the most points scored in a Game 7 in NBA history. This dude went from struggling in the previous games to straight up dominating the court. It was like watching a phoenix rise from the ashes. The Celtics, determined to make up for their NBA Finals loss last year, punched their ticket to the Eastern Conference Finals for the second time in a row. And who stands in their way? None other than the Miami Heat. But on the other side of the court, we had the 76ers, and boy was it a tough pill to swallow for their fans. Joel Embiid, the newly crowned NBA MVP, couldn't find his groove and struggled with his shooting. And while Tobias Harris gave it his all, it just wasn't enough. The Sixers fell short, once again bowing out in the conference semifinals for the third straight year. Their coach, Doc Rivers, had mixed feelings about the loss. He believed they have the right group, but this defeat certainly stung. On the bright side, he thinks his team is on the right track. Well, let's hope so. But if there was one person who was watching all of this with glee, it was Ben Simmons. So, after the Celtics handed the Sixers a crushing defeat in Game 7, our man Simmons decided to take a break from shooting hoops and instead opted for a glass of red wine. The dude posted a pic on his Instagram story with a glass of vino, a bottle of Smart Water, and a TV in the background, showcasing the blowout loss his old team was enduring. Now, let's set the stage here. The Celtics were up by a whopping 30 points, with just over 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, when Simmons thought, hey, why not enjoy a nice glass of wine while I watch my former teammates struggle, adding insult to injury. As you can imagine, social media went absolutely bonkers over this. Some people applauded Simmons for his so-called trolling of his old team, while others thought it was downright disrespectful. I mean, imagine you're a die-hard Sixers fan, watching your team get trounced, and then you see Simmons sipping wine like it's a leisurely Sunday afternoon. The audacity! Twitter was buzzing with hilarious comments. One Savage fan pointed out that Simmons' TV was off-center, just like his infamous jump shot. Ouch, that one stung. But let's be real, the internet never holds back when it comes to roasting. Now, I don't know about you, but this whole situation has got me wondering what's going on in Simmons' mind. Is he throwing shade at his former squad? Is he just chilling and enjoying the show? Who knows? But a lot of people think he crossed the line. I mean, let's give credit where credit's due. The Sixers invested a lot in Simmons. They drafted him as the #1 overall pick in 2016 and stood by him through injuries and rough patches. So some might argue that Ben owes a debt of gratitude to the organization for the opportunities they provided him. Now, here's the thing. We all know there were some hiccups along the way, and Ben might have a few grievances with the team. Fair enough, we're all entitled to our opinions. But here's where it gets sticky. Many die-hard Sixers fans still idolize Ben Simmons, even after his departure. They defended him through thick and thin. And now he's sort of rubbing salt in their wounds with this wine-sipping Instagram post. But hey, let's play devil's advocate for a second. Ben is entitled to his own opinions and actions, right? We can't control how he expresses himself, even if it stings a little for the fans. Plus, there's an argument to be made that maybe we're all jumping to conclusions here. Maybe Ben didn't exactly shade the team at all. It could just be a harmless misunderstanding. Some might say Ben should show a little more respect to his former team and its fans. Others might argue that he's just living his life and sharing a moment. Either way, the debate rages on. But why is Ben so salty about the Sixers? Well, it all boils down to his shaky departure. So, after the 76ers painful Game 7 back in the 2021 Eastern Conference semifinals, things started to go downhill. Joel Embiid didn't hold back and pointed out Simmons' decision to pass up on an open dunk as the turning point in the game. But that's not all. The drama escalated when a reporter asked Coach Doc Rivers if Simmons could be a point guard on a championship team. Rivers responded with a mind-boggling, "I don't even know how to answer that right now." Doesn't really sound like he was confident in his star player. In response to all this hoopla, Simmons, despite having years left on his contract, made it clear that he wanted out. He demanded a trade, ready to skip training camp if necessary. He even put his Philly home up for sale, signaling that he was serious about moving on. He missed training camp, the preseason, and the team's season opener. The organization responded by withholding a whopping $8.25 million from his salary. That's a pretty penny. The saga continued with suspensions, fines, and even Simmons filing a grievance to recoup a massive chunk of his withheld salary. It was a lot of drama. But eventually, Simmons got what he wanted. The Sixers let go of him, and Simmons joined the Brooklyn Nets instead. So, what has Simmons done since moving to the Nets? Just over a month later, Simmons was hit with the unfortunate news of a herniated disc in his back. The injury sidelined him for the rest of the regular season and the play-in tournament. But there was still hope on the horizon. Reports emerged that Simmons was eyeing a grand return in Game 4 of the playoffs against the Boston Celtics. Alas, back soreness had other plans, and Simmons had to sit out once again, witnessing the Nets' playoff hopes crumble. In the midst of all the back woes, Simmons eventually underwent surgery in May of 2022 to address the ongoing issue. Fast forward to October 2022, and the eagerly awaited moment arrived. Simmons donned the Nets jersey and took the court for his debut. He put up decent numbers, although fouling out didn't help his cause. But hey, it happens to the best of us. As the season progressed, Simmons had his fair share of ups and downs. He showcased flashes of brilliance, like his impressive rebounding performance against the Portland Trail Blazers. There were also nights when his scoring touch shone bright, dropping a season-high 22 points against the Memphis Grizzlies. However, injuries continued to cast a shadow over his journey. Knee soreness and back inflammation became familiar companions, leading to a roller coaster ride of missed games, MRI scans, and diagnoses. By March 2023, the Nets made the tough call to shut down Simmons for the remainder of the season due to a nerve impingement in his back. It was a disappointing turn of events for both Simmons and the Nets, with his numbers hitting career lows across the board. So, to say Simmons has had a hard ride since moving over to the Nets would be a bit of an understatement. And a lot of people are starting to doubt he made the right choice. I mean, the Sixers have been performing quite well without Simmons, but with the likes of Joel Embiid leading the charge, adding Simmons to the mix could have made them an unstoppable force. The potential of their combo was crazy. With Simmons' unique skills and Embiid's MVP dominance, the Sixers had the makings of a powerhouse, leaving fans to wonder what could have been if Simmons had stuck around. On the other hand, Simmons' departure wasn't without its reasons. It's no secret that he found it difficult working with certain people within the Sixers. Sometimes personalities clash, and if that hindered his performance or happiness, maybe a change of scenery was necessary. After all, finding the right fit is crucial for any player's success and overall satisfaction. But it's safe to say that Simmons' presence hasn't exactly been met with open arms. Some Brooklyn fans haven't embraced him warmly, perhaps due to the expectations that come with being part of a star-studded team. It's clear that winning over the Brooklyn fans won't be a walk in the park for Simmons. When weighing the pros and cons, while the Sixers are performing well and Simmons' partnership with Embiid could have been sensational, personal conflicts can't be ignored. If those issues were hindering his growth or overall experience, then maybe his choice to leave was for the best. Only time will tell if Simmons made the right move. And with all that said, maybe he posted that photo on this Instagram to reassure himself of his decision. It was a way to get back at his former team. But deep down, he might just regret it. So, from Ben Simmons' potential regret of leaving Philly to the Sixers' devastating loss against the Celtics, this was why Ben Simmons trolled the 76ers.